3 provinces to observe strict COVID measures. Governor Parkop intensify calls for vaccination. And acting PM announces passing of former Governor General.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Seah.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Thursday's news. 3 provinces in the country will observe strict COVID-19 measures as the number of COVID-19 cases climbs to 600 active cases this week. These provinces include Western, West Sepik and Eastern Highlands. Acting Prime Minister Sora Eoe announced this yesterday following a meeting with the National Control Centre.
The announcement that came after 3 hours of government briefing with the COVID-19 National Control Centre was one aimed at ensuring economic stability.
We're not looking at closing or shutting down of the country, but basically 3 provinces which have higher incidence of a COVID-19 increase, allowing for people's rights and movements, but also pointing out to our people the need to take precautionary measures, but also looking at some of the measures that we are putting in place so that our people are not hindered from traveling around.
As such, only 3 provinces will see strict measures.
The issue is COVID is here. Different variants are also here, and particularly the most frightening one is the Delta variant. So we are basically looking at 3 provinces: the Western Province, West Sepik Province, and Eastern Highlands Province.
On Wednesday night, a document from the NCC detailing strategies aimed at providing advice and to seek government feedback was leaked out. This led people to believe a nationwide lockdown was in sight. The controller says that's not happening.
It was that document was created to provide advice and recommendations to the acting Prime Minister and the Health Minister as to what briefed them on what the situation is in the country. As a result of those discussions was that for us to focus on the three provinces that are potentially on the cusp of a public health disaster.
Bradley Valenaki, National EMTV News.
This afternoon, the acting Prime Minister addressed the nation, clarifying that the lockdown news trending on social media is fake. He reassured citizens that there is no state of emergency in the country. The acting PM reiterated that the lockdown will only be extended to the provinces affected due to the increasing number of COVID-19 cases.
Yes, it's fake news, basically because of the fact that it didn't come from the authorized source. So what has appeared in social media is exactly that. So government will officially announce its position tomorrow, explaining what I've just outlined, but more detail as to how we look at those 3 provinces. What are the requirements? No 3 provinces is similar. The way that we are going to address it is slightly different from province to province. Just example for Eastern Highlands. Eastern Highlands is economic corridor, for example. So we need to manage that particular province properly. It's not only economic corridor, but it's also agriculture and one of the important economic province for the country. The schools will still function as they are, as long as you observe COVID protocols. I've mentioned about education. I think there's exams coming up, so we're mindful of that, as long as those protocols are observed, so that schools progress as they are, and the fact that they can sit and have their exams, going into shops, exactly the same. We need to ensure that masks are always on, and that storekeepers should be, more vigilant in terms of reducing of many people going. Maybe you can screen and monitor people coming in. In that way, we can kind of control and contain this problem.
NCD Governor Parkop is urging all citizens to be vaccinated. This comes after more reports surfaced of increasing deaths due to COVID. Governor Parkop says he does not want another lockdown imposed. He says the only way to avoid the lockdown is for citizens to be vaccinated. He was speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony for the new wildlife to Morata Road in the city.
Me no like a lockdown. Two lo country blow you mean to me no like a lockdown. But it's up to all of us. Up to all of us lo preventive lockdown here. Stop lo you mean now. The only way me look him you mean by stop him lockdown. You mean all gonna mask him vaccine. You mean must go lo one by road tas all na sim a vaccine. Time you stop na you know sim ya. You got plenty thing na kind by come up or Miami or Rido, side effect, true, kind of semo, DNA by change. But time you sim, no got more issue. But you find them normal. Most importantly, you feel secure and protected.
The people from the wildlife area in the Mosby Northeast electorate will now see the reconstruction and sealing of the road connecting them to the main road. Wildlife in the early days was home to a variety of animal species. Sadly, it was shut down due to funding, but the place is now home to settlers. The road construction will allow the people easy access and investment and development in the area.
The groundbreaking ceremony yesterday saw people of wildlife area in the Mosby Northeast electorate turn up in numbers for the long-awaited road project. The road will be constructed under two phases at an estimated cost of about 10 million kina. The project will run from wildlife to Morata. With the road project underway, more benefits are expected for the people. This includes employment and the rollout of National Capital District's vision to change settlement into suburb.
City blow you mean capital city. Me come in here, me get it long. Make sure we deliver greater city for us now, today, alive, and now, this moment. Now, secondly, to pass on to our children much better, greater city than we inherited from our parents or landlord before.
Mosby Northeast member John Kappa was pleased with NCD governor and says other projects will also take place.
Time road come, water must come to. Time road come, power must come to. Otsem na me, fight strong one Honorable William Duma, location 1 plus 600,000 liters, kiloliters. So time you cut him go down, we'll call him 0.6 billion milliliters.
During the ceremony, Governor Parkop said CCTVs will also be installed to monitor criminal activities.
So it's not worth it. You play young man, go na walk in this kind walk here. People put in CCTV penis. Okay, the image me got penis. No space blow you by clear by he go court na by you go straight bomana. So me like him by you blow you stop him as a person. Me no talk you blow line long, here long. Wildlife you walk in this or something.
Porivai, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues with more stories after these messages. Stay with us. Two men of European origin were arrested by a joint enforcement unit for illegal entry into Papua New Guinea. The two men traveled across the Pacific Ocean on a yacht from Tahiti and arrived after 66 hours outside Luluata Inland Island last weekend. Chief Migration Officer Stanis Hulahau said following a tip-off, enforcement units from Customs, Police and Transport checked the yacht and found the two men unlawfully enter the country. They were transported to the Bomana Immigration Center for further investigations. According to initial reports, the two men had no intent of visiting PNG but experienced mechanical fault during their journey. The boat owner is a 48-year-old from France and his boat engineer from Belgium. The PNG Teachers Association is appealing to the Teaching Service Commission to address the salary fixation agreement and other allowances for all teachers. President Aita Sanankepe said 6 attempts were made for a roundtable negotiation with TSC, but no progress has been made so far.
During the National Management Committee meeting, the PNG Teachers Association discussed several agendas concerning teachers throughout the nation. Among them was the burning issue of salary fixation agreement between PNG TA and Teaching Service Commission. According to PNG TA President Aita Sanankepe, teachers across the country have been denied pay increment from 2019 to 2021.
This matter was taken up with the Office of the Teaching Service Commission by Papua New Guinea Teachers Association in mid-2020, based on the log of claims agreed to by both parties.
They are now calling on higher authorities to intervene to address this matter.
We are appealing to the government to come down and force this employer, TSC, to come down to our level and talk to us. Tell us when they are going to organize a roundtable conference. We cannot just go to their office 6 times. 6 times we tried. We went there, they told us, no, we cannot talk to you.
Vice President Sinel Ko'o says they are ready and want TSC to come out and negotiate the issue on a neutral basis.
We are ready to talk. When are they going to address the salary fixation of the teachers? When? That's the question we're asking. If they want to talk to us, we'll get somebody neutral to negotiate that. The terms and conditions of teachers are paramount at this moment, when the prices of goods and services are going up.
Podivai National EMTV News.
Morbe's Program Advisor for Education, Keith Tangui, said over 1,000 students attending Menyamia Secondary School will be forced to stay home next week. This is because the school does not have money to operate. The Education Department has only paid government tuition fee subsidy for 140 students from a population of 1,057. Menyamia Secondary School is the only rural secondary school in the district.
Is, has been painted as a school that is mismanaging of the school funds. So we sent an investigation team. The Provincial Education Board sent a team over to Menyama, check all the financial spendings for the last 2 or 3 years. They found that well acquitted, everything is in order. Menyama is a clean school. All right? But it's just that the student support fees to the school is not there. That's why they don't have the money to operate. But GTFS, only a few students of 150 were paid. We've already talked to the GTFS office in Mosby to get that organized and then pay the real amount, the right amount back to Menyama. So they should be paid. If they're not paid, we'll have to pester them again to make sure that money that rightfully belongs to Menyama secondary school is paid. So my GTF officer has already contacted the office. I even went to Mosby, talked with them. It's not 150 students have in Menyama, it's 1,057 students. So that is the number that should be paid, not 57, 150 students. So it should be paid. If they're not paying, we'll hold them responsible. TFF office must be responsible for the students' education being jeopardized. So some things, people have to be very careful on how we are dealing with the students. Because students are not at fault. It is the department who is at fault. So we need to put them into a path, do the right thing all the time.
The Joint Forces Academy consists of cadets from the PNG Defence Force and Correctional Services undergoing training to become officers in their respective disciplined roles. Based at Igam Barracks in Leh, they are currently undergoing training in Medang. Martha Louise reports.
The training offered to these cadets involves drills that prepares them for life situations that may end up in conflict. After receiving their orders yesterday, the officer cadets camped at the Ambarina Primary School. This morning they were transported to the Nagada Mission Station to carry out their duties. They positioned themselves around two buildings, ready to strike an enemy party. The Cordon and strike activity is the last task in the senior classes Internal Security Operations or ISO. The culminating activity started with the cadet orders on Tuesday and ended this morning with the Cordon fight.
I've set up cordon strike and I've struck the enemy lock the early hours of the morning around 05:45, and that has concluded the ISO exercise that has been conducted within Medang province within these 14 days. And the cadets are now posted to return to Igam Barracks after the completion of this major exercise.
While the cadets have undergone planned scenarios over the last 12 days, the Internal Security Operations exercise prepares them to handle real-life situations like civil disputes, protests, or providing security during the national general elections.
The cadet will commence with a single service. CS cadet will go to Bomana, and defense cadet will stay back at Igam to do tactics. And that should end the cadet training and will prepare for graduation, hopefully next year.
JFA's Chief Instructor Lieutenant Colonel Donald Isuk said while these cadets may not be participating in security operations in next year's elections, these are skills that they will use as officers when they are commissioned.
That will be a tool for them that they will take along when they graduate and get commissioned as officers in the different services, i.e. PNGDF and the CS.
The cadets later completed a 12-kilometer route march. The Joint Forces Academy acknowledged the people for their support and understanding during the last 12 days in Medang. They return to Leh's Igam Barracks tomorrow.
We might have caused some traffic issues, but we would like to thank the people of Medang for their cooperation towards our training.
Martha Louise, National EMTV News, Medang.
And now looking at the NASFund market report, the Kina opened unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina will buy $0.2775 $0.3794 Australian dollars, $0.2292 euro, and 29.84 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee and cocoa closed higher, while copra closed lower. Crude oil is trading higher, palm oil closed lower, and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 338.48 points higher. The ASX 200 is trading at 85.95 points higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading at 98.61 points higher. National EMTV News continues with more stories after these messages. Don't go away. Welcome back to the news. Acting Prime Minister Sora Eoe today officially announced the passing of one of PNG's former Governor-General, Sir Silas Atopare. Sir Silas was PNG's 7th Governor-General and one of the important pioneers from Eastern Highlands Province.
But at the same time, I thought it should be appropriate time for us to also recognize this afternoon, and that's a reason why I'm thankful that you're all here. The passing, officially recognized the passing of late Sir Silas Atopare, former Governor General of Papua New Guinea. It's a very sad occasion. A day ago or 2 days ago, he left us. As you know, Sir Silas is one of the important pioneers in his own province and his own community. People who came from very humble background, but rising to the challenge of contributing to the nationhood. We've just come out from 46th independent anniversary. And this is one of those fathers who had contributed to the development of our country from those humble beginnings. I want to announce few protocols that the government has taken measures in terms of recognizing this great man. And they are one. Government is taking on all the funeral expenses. We will be giving and honoring him with the state funeral, which is appropriate to leaders of such status. That is one. Number two, the government through our Prime Minister has also indicated that we should have flying at low mask one day, that is tomorrow.
Chukai Sports is next. All the details after the break.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. It was tennis doubles action at the Port Moresby Rackets Club recently with a showdown of some experienced tennis hands. The doubles team of Team Kribish and Mark Gibbons won the tournament.
There was a healthy crowd waiting in earnest at the Port Moresby Rackets Club. On the court, some doubles action. Despite a prior 4 days of tennis in the 2021 POM Rackets Club Tennis Open from the 16th to the 19th of September, it was still a good hit out down at the courts. The doubles pairing of Tony Astoega and Tony Benabe were put to the test by tennis coaches Eddie Mera and Marcia Tere Apisa. Eddie and Marcia were too strong, taking the match 9-6.
Man and lady were a bit too much for us tonight. They played very well, as expected, being PNG reps. And all congratulations to them.
The two Tonys were up for the challenge but fell short in their chase.
We went down 9-6. We thought we'd be able to break in the other game to level it a bit, but I got broken instead. So yeah, that sort of made it a bit. The gap was a bit too big for us to come back from.
Marcia said overall the 4-day 2021 POM RC Tennis Open tournament was a success with a good turnout by the juniors who put in some promising performances.
I think it was very successful. I enjoyed seeing the kids play, the level of play from everyone. It was nice to see everyone come out as well.
The final doubles match was between the team of Marcia and Eddie up against POM Rackets Club President Team Kribish and teammate Mark Gibbons. The win went to the two veterans who defeated Eddie and Marcia.
congratulations to the runners-up. Eddie and Marcia made a good game. They really stretched Mark Gibbons to his utmost to drag me through. It was a nice tournament yesterday with the singles and the legends. They had an awesome game. We had an awesome celebration. A lot of members and guests came to the club. I think we had 5 very successful days, and I think our members today, they enjoyed watching this double, because I think it was quite spectacular rallies, so it was very nice. Yeah, we won by 1 break only, so it was very tight. It could have been the other way around easily. So very tight match, 9-7.
A good turnout of enthusiastic supporters of tennis, culminating in a lively crowd over the past 5 days of tennis action, which started on Independence Day and concluded yesterday with the doubles.
And we've come out on a Monday to finish off the finals, and we easily still had 50 people in the crowd watching, which I think is a testament to the club here and to the tennis community in Port Moresby. To have 50 people turn up on a Monday night just to watch the last couple of games of a tournament is quite impressive, I think.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues with more after this break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. The 4th annual Sports Talk 7th tournament is set for the 2nd to the 3rd of October. Today, the Sports Talk tournament coordinator and the staff did a live pool draw for the 24 teams that will take part in the tournament.
The Sports Talk Annual 7th tournament will be hosting its 4th consecutive tournament this October from the 2nd to the 3rd. The organizers from Sports Talk magazine today, with the help of the tournament coordinator Paul Joseph, did a live draw of pools at the Sir John Guy Stadium.
What we have done is looking at the results from last year, and we have already identified who the pool leaders are in the 6 pools that we have for this year. Obviously, the cup winners, PC Ravens, top-ranked team. Pool B, we have Kramer Senko Brothers. Pool C, we have 15 City Pirates of Kimbex, B Pirates of Medang. Pool E, we have former champions of the tournament, Mentors of Port Moresby. And Pool F, we have University Piggies, 7th.
The tournament, which started from humble beginnings, this year has more than 24 teams showing interest from all across the country. But only 24 could be allowed to compete. The matches this year will be held at the Sir John Guy Stadium.
The most important part that for this year, we would host the tournament here at the Sir John Guy's Stadium. It's basically to create an environment for commercial entities to come and support, to come and enjoy rugby and enjoy the facility and support the tournament.
With teams travelling from provinces outside of Port Moresby and with recent restrictions put on by the pandemic controller for COVID-19, there is some caution being taken, but it has all been planned for with close consultation by the tournament coordinator and the pandemic controller's office.
This event that we have now gone through, we needed to make that today. Should there be any further advice from the government through the appropriate channel, be assured that we will have the tournament with the guidance from the Nubla Pasen team and the government, and that we will look at a later date should we go down that road.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League National High Performance Manager Michael Marum is happy about the progress of the Kumul Petroleum National Schools Rugby League Confederate Championships, and he sees a lot of potential talent for the future of rugby league in Papua New Guinea.
The Kumul Petroleum National Schools Rugby League Confederate Championships, which started this week in Port Moresby, will see a squad of players selected for each of the age divisions from under 14 to under 18 to participate in a high-performance clinic. PNG RFL National High Performance Manager Michael Marum said they had to reschedule the clinics from Port Moresby to respective confederates due to flight changes.
We're hoping to select a 30 men squad after its division finals, and then all them back for 4 or 5 days, and just basically work with them, go through the basic stuff about the game. But due to flights, we couldn't get the changes. So we're sending them back. We're announcing the squads after its final, and then we send them back. But we'll go around and monitor, go and visit them in their respective leagues later on this year.
Marum urged all the public, especially parents, to watch the matches which are currently live on MTV to show their support.
Hopefully we have all the parents here in Moresby. I think it's all live in Facebook and MTV. Thank you again for that. But the parents at home are now watching, so that alone will inspire a lot of kids to come and play.
Marum added that for most of the children and teachers, it was their first time to come and play at a stadium like the Oil Search National Football Stadium and also visit the city of Port Moresby. And it would be a great experience to share.
The ones in the ball haven't had been to competitions, and for them, I think there's 14 or 15 of them that came on that first flight yesterday. There was something special for all those kids. Never been to Moresby, including some of the coaches too, the teachers, they've been participating in those school programs. So, it's a good story. They go back, the under 16s are coming in, under 18 boys and girls too. So.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather details coming up next.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
A look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Cloudy with rainy periods in Port Moresby, cloudy periods with a few squally showers in Daru, cloudy with rainy periods in Kerma, Alatau and Popondita. In the Mamasa region, cloudy showers and possible thunderstorms in Lae, cloudy with a few showers in Medang, cloudy weather with some showers and thunderstorms in the evening in Wewak, and cloudy with a shower or two in Whanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, cloudy with a few showers right across the region in Lorengau, Kavia and Kokopora, Kimbe and Buka. And in the Highlands region, cloudy with rainy periods, then morning fog in Mount Hagen, and cloudy with a few showers, then morning fog in Goroka, Kondiawa, Mendi, and Wabeg.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
And that's been the news, sport and weather for tonight, Thursday, 23rd September 2021. Until next time, pleasant viewing, be safe and good night.